During my latest ventures onto the darknet, or otherwise known as the onion web, I did come across some child pornography sites. But what concerns me more than that is a couple of things. Number one, that these onion websites were referring to links which went into the clearnet. That is the average internet that you and I use at any given time, which would indicate that the child pornographers are not just relying on the darknet to peddle their wares. So that's one concern. Number two is that there's an indifference which is allowing these creatures to go onto the clearnet. Now, previously I talked about 8chan, which is a hip, cool, gnarly site, and on that site there are a couple of what are you supposed to say, forums which deal with what you call an unusual lust for children. So you've got 8chan, and they've got a section called Heeb, which supposedly deals with admiring girls, say, between the ages of 9 and 14. And if you look through the things that have been written, sometimes they get deleted, sometimes not. You will see grooming tips. You know, there was some pedo who was saying he wanted to fuck his 9-year-old stepdaughter, but was unsure how to keep her quiet about it. And he was getting all this advice, tell her that if she tells anyone, she'll be called a slut and she'll be embarrassed. Things like that, grooming tips. But so you've got 8chan, which does this, but you've also got 1chan and 10chan, especially 10chan. I mean, 10chan is nothing more than a crappy webpage with an advertisement running across the top of it for a porno site. And then there's a box which covers a fair whack of the screen, and a little disclaimer saying these ads are auto ads. They're put in there automatically, and all it really are is just links. You click on the link and it takes you straight to a child pornography site. These are not onion sites, and I want to ask, in regards to the sort of people who are running these sites, where does the internet group known as Anonymous come into this? Because on the onion web I came across some paste bin sites which call themselves things like a non-paste bin, and all it is some people bitching about nothing, but there's a lot of web links to child pornography sites. And looking at Anonymous, they are not one single organisation. You have, I would compare it to an individual franchise for each person that calls themselves part of Anonymous. So, I'll give you an example of what I've seen. There's this one reportedly from Anonymous saying, "We're against pedophilia." And, little speech, then in the links below it were all child pornography sites or Chan sites. And, you've got to ask, what does Anonymous stand for? From what I could make out, it breaks into two parts. Look, I do believe there are people who associate themselves with the name Anonymous who are against child pornography. But I believe they are outnumbered by those who associate themselves with the name Anonymous who are for child pornography. You've got this so-called freedom of speech thing they like to go on about. And, people have tried to shut down child pornography sites and they find themselves under cyber attack by Anonymous, by, these social justice warriors going on about free speech and stuff like that. But what I saw, how there are more child pornography sites on the clearnet than on the youngin web, and there were some that actually associated themselves under the name Anonymous. I came across on the youngin web, it was a site. Now, if you've seen a website called Xhamster or Xvideos, which are pornography sites, which you can just play a selected clip, and but with Xhamster and Xvideos, they are all legal adults in those clips, having sex and so on. The one I saw on the Onion web was somewhat similar to Xhamster and Xvideos. So you go to this site, you see the type of pornography, you've got adults, and then you've got fetishes. If you go to the fetish part, it divides into two categories: animals, that's category 1, and pedophilia. I took a look at the pedophilia site because I was wondering, you got adults and you got animals and pedophilia, and this site isn't going to make mainstream in the near future. So in the pedophilia site, it was exactly that. And there was a fair whack of movies too. Some of the shit that was on there was unbelievable. I've had, from what I remember, there was one movie, or clip, much like Xhamster, with a 5-year-old girl being fucked in the ass. There was another clip of a baby, I doubt it was even 6 months old, as some guy pulling his prick and jacking off all over the baby's face. That's the sort of sick shit that's on there. Oh fucking, I reported him to the police. And, you know, when you see these different genres of porn being all hoisted together, you know, you've got to ask, why would anyone running a pornography site do such a thing? Is there something they're expecting to happen? So I was just looking back over pornography. We've got, you know, like X-Hamster, X-Videos, I think there's one called PornTube. I mean, there's so many pornography sites on the web which give their stuff away for nothing. And there's so many people who film themselves having sex and give it away for nothing. So the pornography industry really is not the sort of place you can make money from, because there's so many people doing it for free. And you've got straights, queers, trannies, S&M freaks, and so on. But they are all adults, and that is their choice, and they are in a position to choose to do such a thing. And there's so much free pornography on these sites. I mean, you wouldn't buy any at all. There's no need. You wouldn't pay for it. So if I was a pornographer, I'd be wondering, if I were to stay in a pornography business, where would I aim at? Now, perverts pay good money for child pornography. But as we see now, I mean, on the sites I have seen, there's plenty of free child pornography. Not to the extent you get on mainstream pornography sites, but you still get a decent amount for nothing. But the actors and actresses, poor too, who would be in this, not by choice either, no, would be very limited. And it's something that I took note of. So you've got all this child pornography now infecting the mainstream internet. You've got this group Anonymous, who probably has more members working on the internet for child pornography than opposing it. And I was wondering, are these two things related? But then I look at, you know, all these social justice warriors and their favourite venture. They do all their shit on a website called Tumblr, which involves a lot of left-wing filth, a lot of cuckolds, a lot of sissies, a lot of mandingo coal burning. You know, they like to peddle, you know, typical left-wing crap. You know, white women should be having sex with black men and having black babies, and their white husbands should be cuckolds, sissies. They should be paying for the black babies. And these are supposedly first-hand, I suppose you call blogs, diaries, from the people who are doing this sort of thing. But myself, I don't believe it. I suspect there are pornographers who are pushing this line because, you know, you can make money from, you know, the lonely white housewife gets fucked by 3 10-inch dick niggers, so to speak. There is still a market from it for which perverts will pay money to watch. Whereas with a couple in a bedroom just having sex, well, anyone can do that and film it. Who cares? No money. And, you know, looking at it, you know, I've seen some shit that I never want to see again. You know, you got, the little girl being fucked in the ass, the pervert jacking off on a baby's face. There was a girl, she was 3 years old, supposedly, and from what I could tell, I would say that's right, and some guy's fucking her balls deep. You know, 3 years old, and here she was having I guess this guy was about 6 inches, all the way in up to his balls. And I think the most disturbing part about these sort of clips is that the children have been trained to perform. So this would indicate to me that this abuse has been going on for probably since they were born. You know, I'm guessing the people doing it, parents, step-parents, and it's not just a stereotypical, you know, old fat guy, dirty beanie, mismatched tracksuit, big thick Coke bottle glasses, sort of thing. You know, in some of the clips that have been touted, there were women who are participating in this as well. You know, like I said, this is really coming out into the open. This isn't just some dirty old man behind a toilet block anymore with a bag of lollies and a porno magazine. You know, we have to look at, you know, the way sexual perversion is being embraced. I'll give you an example. Caitlyn Jenner. Some guy gets his dick cut off, calls himself a woman, and but still likes to have sex with women or other guys who get their dicks cut off. Kate McGregor, you know, in the Australian Air Force now, was a major, got his dick cut off and became a lesbian. Now, as far as I'm concerned, you know, people who get sex change operations do so because they feel they, on a mental level, are the opposite sex. So, you know, Caitlyn Jenner, Kate McGregor, they should be, you know, attracted to, you know, lusting after guys, but no, their sexuality preference has not changed. So you can't say it's a case of a woman trapped inside a man's body, because it just doesn't add up, you know, wanting to be some sort of lesbian by getting your dick cut off. Anyway, I've got to, you know, point out some things because I want to wrap this up. Okay, Anonymous, you have to decide whether you're for child pornography. I don't care if you excuse it as some sort of free speech issue or not. There are perverts that are using your name, and I've seen websites. There was one on the clearnet again, which was rigged up So if you went directly to this website, all you get is some half-assed porno webpage with some fat drugged out chick, naked. And yet, if you entered it with a certain link, it went straight to a depository of child pornography, and it had the name anonymous, and it had the guy with the question mark for his head, in the background of the a map of the world or whatever, the globe. So anonymous, you have to decide what you are going to do about it. For all what you claim, we're anonymous, we'll fight Scientology, we're anonymous, we'll fight Islamic State, we're anonymous, we'll do this, we'll do that. In fact, there's Scientology and Islamic State are still maintaining a web presence. And you've got child pornographers who seem to be growing, and I would suggest that's because they're using knowledge which Anonymous has collectively come across and engaged, and someone's learning from it. And to maintain and avoid detection using your knowledge and using your name, you say you can take down Islamic State on the web and Scientology on the web. Why don't you take care of these people? That would be less of a challenge, I should think. So you're going to have to decide. Who else? I put the finger at Tumblr. Social justice warriors. You've got a problem there. You've got people pushing perversion. I suspect that a lot of these people who are pushing this crap, using your website, are in fact pornographers looking to set up avenues of revenue. Clean up your shit. And there's one final website I want to point the finger at. Bet365.com. We take bets on anything. Our websites all over the place. Yeah, they sure as fuck are. Going through one child pornography website to something that's a springboard for it, which continues on like a type of fly, because it's not direct to access these things. You've got like all these URL redirectors and so on, and there's a lot of them. Yet during that time, going from one site to the other, for some unknown reason, Bet365, your ads kept showing up on websites, as a type of avalanche or tornado, and here it was, Bet365. I mean, seriously, is anything for $1, business is business regardless. It seems as though you have no concept of good or evil. To you, good or evil is how much money can we get? Are we in credit or are we in debt? I mean, you've probably hired people in third world countries and all various places around the world to set up these things. Yeah, next time you jack it off in a baby's face, put a $10 bet on San Diego to win, or fucking hell. And I also will point the finger at file hosting sites. Now there's one, I'm trying to remember it on the top of my head. Shit. No, sorry. There are some file hosting sites, and you just take a basic word or buzzword in relation to child pornography, and you feed it into a search engine, and bang, these file hosting sites keep coming up. You know, just try to remember the one. Doesn't matter. But you can tell these sorts of sites because they are first to push the, pay for access sort of thing. You know, some people are so morally bankrupt. As long as they get $1, they don't give a fuck what happens to anyone. So, and I'll point out, again anonymous, that Anon Files seems to be, for some reason, hosting these files. So, what can you say to that? Anyway, it's been going on for a while, so I'll just finish it here. And yeah, we'll see where we end up next time.